Alright, what's up everyone? I'm not going to be looking at you because I'm driving, but I wanted to share this thought with you really quick. I'm kind of yelling to make sure you hear me. Turn the fan off so there's no extra noise. I pull up to this red light so I can give you guys a look. It's like 0 degrees out, so you're welcome. That's why the hoodie's on, sweatshirt's on. Oh man. Fear. Fear is the topic today. And one of my biggest complaints is that people are too afraid, which is hilariously ironic now that I say it out loud. They're too afraid to say they fear something. There's something embedded in us that we're taught that we should not be afraid of nothing, right? And admitting your fears is admitting your weaknesses or whatever. But the reality is, if you don't recognize what you're afraid of, you'll never know what's holding you back. Because let me talk about this as a social media content person. The irony of that as I make social media content, talking about social media content, is that a lot of people won't even post because they're afraid, not that they will fail. They're not actually afraid they'll fail. Very few people are afraid they will actually fail. They're afraid that others will see you fail. They're so afraid of what others might think. Without even knowing what they think, they're afraid of what they think they will think. That they will think, that they'll think, that they'll think, that they'll think, that you don't even do something, that you don't even get to fail. And this is so important because if you want to take control of your life, right, you want to take control of the actions you do, you have to take control of what stops you from doing what you want to do. And so often is that fear related to failure. And that fear is so often misguided in the sense that, like, when we think about fear, it's like the result of our action is going to lead to some sort of tangible consequence that'll impact my ability to have a healthy, happy life. I think that's like a traditional fear, what is that? Evolutionary reason, the reason why we have fear. But now we don't get attacked by tigers and lions and bears, oh my. But we just have social fears. Sometimes, depending on the situation, probably seems like a lion, tiger, or bear. But that stops us so much. And little things, it stops you from asking people for help. It stops you from reaching out to people. It stops you from doing something. And the more we can recognize those fears, the more we can actually live the way we want to live and pursue a passion that isn't contingent upon someone else's opinion of that passion. So if you pursue a passion and are worried about someone else's opinion, you're not actually pursuing a passion. You're pursuing something for the sake of someone else. When it's truly internalized and you bring it to your own inner peace, then you have some actual power. Power to execute, power to be decisive, power to not worry about external variables that don't affect your passion. So I say that because I just played a basketball game the other night and I shot a bunch of bricks. I didn't play very well. I mean, it's basketball. Sometimes that happens. You can not play well for a whole month, and guess what? Life goes on. Not play well for the whole senior. Ask my junior season in college about that. And life goes on. So the idea simply is, I played the game and I filmed it and I shared it and I showed all my misses because there's power in that. There's power in not being afraid to just do what you do. Sometimes I would go on Instagram Live and play not pickup. I do shooting drills because there's a power in showing your misses. There's a power in failure and embracing it. And we struggle at times to have that power over our own fears. And that's something I think about more so now than a lot before. Because I want to build some cool stuff. And if you have that fear, it's not going to succeed. So I'll leave you guys with that note. Something simple to the point that you can take home and think about.